Yo, yo, what's going on? We're back again with another video. We're going to be talking about Beastlord clickies. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's just get right into it. For Classic, we have Amulet of Necropotence. This is just a nice clicky to have for an instant cast against the spells. It also gives you Skeleton Illusion. J-Boots, instant cast, run speed, also good against the spell mobs. Pegasus Feather Cloak, it's optional. Beastlords do get Levitate, but this is a Levitate item that you can pick up if you want to do a clicky. It is pretty rare though, so just keep that in mind. Shield Immaculate is a right-click Cure Disease clicky. This is pretty much useful for every class. You can pick this up if you want to though. It's optional, and it's also tradable. Now keep in mind, Beast Lords don't come out till Lucklin, but I did like classify this as what era the actual loot drops from. But just remember, you can only get these once you are able to make Beast Lords. Moving on to Kunark, we have Bracer of the Hidden. This is a right-click See and Viz. You can cast this on anybody. It's good against the spell mobs. Claw of the Savage Spirit. What's going on here? Looks like I have two links, so we'll just roll with it, I guess. This is actually the monk. I'm sorry, the Beastlord 1.0 epic. The primary will give you a slow proc, and it also dots the mob, so keep that in mind. And it's a 55% slow, and the offhand is a haste item. They're both good, but when you do the 1.0, you're going to get both of these. So there you go. You can get those if you want. Fungus Cover Great Staff. You can use the pre-nerf version or the regular version. It'll give you right-click fungal regrowth. This is probably just best for maybe twinking or something like that. It does snare you when you cast it on yourself. Just keep that in mind. Shrunken Goblin Skull Earring. This is just an instant cast Grim Aura. There's some other ones in the game. I don't mention all of them, but this is kind of the easier one to get since the camp is really simple. Stave of Shielding. This will give you a major shielding buff, and this is a proc as well. It's not a clicky, so just remember that. It comes from Charduk randomly from any mob. Regal Bane of Bathazid. I might as well just take this one out. I think I'm going to take this out, but it's a damage shield ring from Kunark. And since you can't even make a Beast Lord till Lucklin, this is pretty much obsolete by the time Lucklin even comes out. So I'll just take this one out of there, but if you want to get it, you can. Wild Lords set. This is the Kunark class set for Beast Lords. You can pretty much get all of these if you want. Just get whichever ones you want to use the clicky of. The tunic has Brandable Coat. The legs have right-click health, which is like stamina buff. The boots will shrink you, and I think you can maybe cast these on other people as well. I've never actually tested it, but since it's the actual spell shrink, I'm going to just assume you can cast it on other people. The gauntlets will give you Summon Companion. Probably not even worth picking those up. The crown will give you Endure Magic. That's not too bad, but it's also not that great. Wild Lord Sleeves. This will give you Turtle Skin. You could probably skip on that one. I think that's just an AC buff. And the Bracer will give you a Strength buff. That one's okay, so if you want to pick that one up, you can. Moving on to Vilius. We have a Bashi's Rod of Disempowerment. This is a right-click Dispel. And I think it's like beneficial spells only, I believe. And it also will do 3 at a time. So you can pick this up if you want. It's not really necessary. It comes off of Vulok and it's kind of rare. So, Girdle of Living Thorns. This will give you right-click Spike Coat. Again, this is completely optional. And if you have like the Kunark one, which gives you Bramble Coat, I don't know which one's better. I can't remember. I think Bramble Coat might be better. I don't know. But if you want to pick this up, you can. It's going to give you some AC and some damage shield. Hallgrush Elder Beads. I don't know why these are in here either. I could probably just take them out. But it is a right-click Azam, and you can use it for scouting if you want. Flowers of Functionality will give you a right-click clicky to each resist, at each school of resists. Each flower will give you 50 resist to a certain school. And these are from Plan Initiative 1.0. Those are optional, but you can pick those up. Polymorph Wand Forest Fairy. I don't know if this drops in Vilius. It might drop later, maybe in like Pop, but it comes from the Daybreak store, so just keep your eye out for it. It's a right-click levitation and a fairy buff. You just click off the fairy buff, and it's like a really nice levitation item. Ring of Dane Frostweaver. This is optional too. It'll give you a regen, attack rating, and damage shield. And I don't know. Make sure you check the stacking of this clicky with Beastlord spells before you get it. It might not stack with certain things, like the regen line, for example. Savage set. This is just a Velious class set. You can get Bramble Coat on the breastplate. You can get health on the leggings. You can get shrink on the boots, and you can get strength on the wrist. So these are similar to the Kunark class set. You can pick these up too if you want. And the Savage one, I can't remember which one that is, but I think that's Sky Shrine. But you can get these from Sky Shrine, Thurgadin, or Kale, depending on what your faction is. Looks like we got a typo right here. I'll fix that. And also, there's a similar breastplate to this one that drops off a Tuner as well. So if you kill Tuner, you can get that. And tri-plated golden hackle hammer. This is right-click arc shielding. It's instant cast. So it's 1.1 second, but it's essentially instant cast. You can pick this up too if you want. Moving on to Lucklin, we have Amulet of the Pure Heart. This is right-click counteract poison. This is pretty decent clicky here. Bone Earring of Evasion. This will give you invisibility versus undead. It's got a 15-second casting time now. There'll probably be really, really rare occasions when you need this, but if you want to pick this up as a toy, you can get this. Crystallized Serpent Eyes, a right-click damage shield. It's only 4 points. Again, make sure you check stacking with this with other spells before you pick it up. Dusty Sora's Worker Pouch. This is just an item that will summon some like throwing fangs. You don't have to get this if you don't want, but I figured I'd just keep it on here. Gloves of Warding, completely optional. It's to give you right-click resist magic, and it's actually plus 50 magic resist. It's not resist magic, it's resistance to magic, and this will give you the 50 there. It's a little bit better. Ring of Resistance will give you right-click 10 all resists in the form of an AA, and this is completely optional. Sigil Earring of Veracity will give you a right-click self-only acumen. This is just good against the spell mobs, and the stats on it are pretty decent. So if you want to pick this up, you can. It's up to you. The quest is kind of long. Torque of the Wormlord. This is better for tanks, but it does give you a right-click 300 HP, and it'll give you some charisma and some stamina as well. It goes on the Browse line. You can pick this up if you want to. Just another option here. Veil of Flames. This is going to turn into a fire elemental. It also gives you a 33-point damage shield, which is kind of nice. This is a pretty decent item for Beastlords, especially if you're soloing a lot. Wistful Tunic of the Void will give you a right-click 225 health buff, and it's also going to give you 40 magic resist and cold resist. These two are just SAO items. As a Beastlord, you probably are going to... These are going to be really low priority. Probably other classes who don't get SAO at all, this would be better for them. But it's a 12-second casting time on the studded boots. And this one is from Kadi Shah, and this is a pretty long quest, but I just threw it on here because it is an option. They're both self-only, but if you want to pick these up, you can. But again, you probably not worth bothering. Don't bother getting these in most cases for Beastlord. It's probably not worth it. Bane of Primordial Energy will give you a right-click AC buff in the form of an AA. Bengal Disease Warning will give you right-click Resist Disease. And this is just a fun toy, and it's kind of nice in like some situations, but it's not going to make or break anything. And you can cast this on anybody as well, so that's kind of nice. Celestial Cloak will give you +5 mana regen and hit point regen, so you can pick that up if you want. Cloud of Slime is a proc. It's a cold-based 10% slow. And this is good against like the Emperor, Caesar, whatever, because it's cold-based. So if you want to pick this up, you can. It drops in Plane of Earth off of Tribal Leader Dissaron, which is a group named. Cloak of Retribution. This is a 20-point damage shield. You can pick this up if you want. Earring of Celestial Energy will give you 20 to all resists in the form of an AA. So it's a little bit better than the last one we spoke about. You can pick this up if you want to. It's not going to make or break anything, though. Eye of Dreams is optional as well. It's going to give you +400 mana. This is like to your total mana pool. Usually this is better for like casters. There's probably a higher priority for them than it would be for maybe a Beastlord. But if you're trying to go for like min-maxing, this is a decent clicky to have. The Kadi Shah set is the planar ornate gear. The breastplate will give you a right-click clarity, which is like a... or did I say that right? I don't know if I said that right. But it's a right-click haste. And you cast that on anybody, I'm pretty sure. And the leggings is a self-only. Oh, looks like this is actually for your pet. This is a pet haste. So that's actually a really good Clicky to get. I'd probably recommend getting both of these as a Beastlord. They're both pretty useful. Phoenix Claw Talisman is a right-click abolish disease, so that's pretty unique. And it's only 6-second cast time, so that's pretty nice. So maybe if you don't have Shield the Immaculate, this might be a good backup item to that. Prismatic Ring of Resistance is going to give you an AC and a resist buff in the form of an AA. And it also has really good stats on it, so I'd recommend picking that up. Serrated Dart of Energy. This is just a attack buff in the form of an AA. Silver Hoop of Speed is going to give you some over haste. It's like version 3 haste, that's kind of like similar to the over haste that bards give. This is only 5% though, but if there's no bard around, this is a nice little DPS increase. Symbol of the Plane Masters. This will give you a partial stun proc, which will generate a little bit of aggro and does a little bit of direct damage. You don't really need this. It's not like make or break anything, but again, if you're trying to min-max, this might be something that you pick up. The Minden Cornsada. This is Talisman Gate, which basically allows you to gate to Plane of Knowledge. And I recommend getting this for any class that does not have the gate spell, as it'll let you go straight to Puck. And there's a reagent for it as well. It costs a little bit less than a gate potion costs, so that's kind of nice too. Time Post Mystical Pouch. Again, not really necessary, but it's a really nice pulling tool. It goes, like the range on it is like 250. So if you want like a pulling tool for some reason, this is a really good option. Veil of the Inferno is just going to give you plus 180 health in the form of an AA. Wand of the Vortex is the Dispel Wand. It's 4.5-second cast time, and it's going to do 2 debuffs. It's not the best Dispel out there, but as far as Beastlords go, this is a pretty solid one. And moving on to Eldon, we have Cloak of the Fleeting Foot. This is a right-click Sow Clicky, and you can cast this on anyone, so this is really nice. But as a Beastlord, again, this is probably going to be a low priority. This might be better for classes that don't already have Sow. But if you really want to get this, this is something you can go for. Crimson Bauble of Rights will give you 20 attack. And I think this is in the form of an AA as well. And it does stack with the Plane of Power Serrated Dart, I believe. So this is a nice little attack bonus for you. And lastly, we have, let's see if we can get it on the page, Frozen Gloves of the Feral Lord. This will give you right-click Spirit of Relic, which will increase your dexterity and also give you the chance to perform a stun proc. So, pretty decent item there. I would definitely recommend picking that up. And it's only a 3-second cast time on it. So, that covers everything. I hope this was helpful. Please make sure to like the video and please subscribe. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.